the Bears versus the Lions game. Some people, I will say, quit at halftime. Someone that you don't expect, Miller. But other than that,
for the record,
I'm not done, damn it. Okay?
I went from 1 screen to 4 screens.
Anyway. Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. For the first time in our positive trio of positivity ever
history,
we are on a playoff watch.
What?
It is first time ever. Thank you guys so much for joining. We are the Trio of Positivity podcast. My name is Chris, followed by my other co-hosts, Boopin and Miller. We are a Chicago Bears podcast, hoping to bring some positivity into our lives. But this season, by God, was it positive. Boys, how was your weekend?
Weekend was fabulous.
It was great, man. Football.
I'm very excited to hear.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's. Love you guys. Happy 2026. Many best wishes to you and your family. I think this is going to be one of our most exciting. I don't know how to feel right now. So I'm just going to go through the social plug and then we'll talk about this because it's our first playoff that actually matters here. So
what do I do with my hands?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. What do you do? You can find us on Facebook, Trio of Positivity Podcast, on X at The Positive Trio, on YouTube, Trio of Positivity Podcast, and TikTok, which, boys, we're starting off 2026 the same way we ended 2025. 0 views, 0 likes, 0 followers. Although I was told that you guys might need to follow the account on TikTok because TikTok might think we're bots.
I don't have a TikTok.
Yeah, I don't either.
Then I don't know what to do. Today's episode, we're going to zoom through week 18 in the NFL. We're going to talk we're going to talk about the Bears-Lions recap. We still have to talk about that game, even though it happened. We'll give our final positivity score of the season. And then we have to start our positivity score for the playoffs. That's going to be weird to do. Then we're going to get to probably the biggest matchup, Bears-Packers on Prime. Saturday at 7 p.m. I'm sure we'll have a couple things there to talk about, and then we'll give our prediction. We're just going to skip this through right now. Miller won the predictions for the season. Congratulations to Miller.
He thinks we're going to skip it, but we're all going to be coming back to that.
We're not coming back to that.
The rich keep getting richer.
And then since fantasy is over, we're going to give you our predictions of the playoffs, the Super Bowl Superb Owl matchup. We'll figure out who's going to represent the NFC and the AFC on each of our own brackets and then give a final prediction, and then we'll be able to talk about it throughout the week. All right, boys, let's get started. I think once we talk about week 18, we'll be able to kind of get this playoff mode going. So I'm going to start us off because one of the greatest things that ever happened to the NFL is the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills played their last home game in their stadium. Miller's laughing, but you know what? I want this to be watched in front of him because I have to pull up the stats because I already forgot them. But either way, the reason why this was very important, it was because it was their last matchup in their stadium. Unless something drastic happens in the playoffs, there's no shot that they're going to host a playoff game. So what did they decide to do to end that season? They decided to send Mitch Trubisky out there, and holy shit did he perform. I don't care what anyone says. When you see the stat line of 22 of 29 for 259 yards and 4 TDs for a stadium that's going to get torn the fuck down, represent, Mitch. That was my best moment of week 18. I would go to Miller next, but I could care less what he says about what I think. We're going to go straight to Boopin. Boopin, what are your thoughts on NFL Week 18?
It was against the Jets, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Last I checked, they are an NFL team, not a XFL or AFL or whatever.
Actually, I may have a stat for you. So
they're the first team. I'm going to blow his stat because we're talking about it, and I don't want to talk about the Jets anymore. First team in NFL history not to have an interception.
Since 1933 that they've been keeping track of this. So
when they knew that Mitch was going to be slinging it, they're like, we're not getting an interception here, boys. We're just going to have to stick with this record.
All right. Thanks for
I'm going to be
my
honest.
stats.
If I would have known that Mitch was starting, well, he didn't start. He was the backup. I would have probably taken that interception for the Jets.
Okay. Boys, I'll be honest with you. I was just happy to be out of this Black Monday coaching firing cycle, the whole drama that goes with it. Like we would be like, oh, he's probably fine, maybe get fired, whatever, or he's definitely fired, right? That's where we would be. I'm just glad it's like beyond. That makes me appreciate the season even more, right? Like our coaches, our GM are actually being like poached away. That's how good a season we had, and that makes me happy. But like some of the stats, some of the teams are awful, guys. Like Jets, we just talked about. I'm not gonna repeat that, but Giants, they had a 17 to 32% chance to be the number one pick as of week 17, before week 17, right? You know what they did? They won both games, I guess 2 games. So week 16.
Well, they played the Raiders.
Yeah.
One of those teams had to win.
Well, true, but like anyway, it just looks
they could have gone for the tie.
But now they're picking 7th, guys. Like they could even like tank properly, right? Same thing with the Browns.
But you don't want to.
Hang on. Browns had a sure top 5 pick. Okay, high likelihood they would be top 2 had they lost the last 2 weeks. But hey, they beat the Steelers and the Browns. I'm sorry, the Bengals. See something, Miller. And now they are picking 6th. So like. The fact that teams are so bad, like they couldn't even tank properly.
But Poopin, you're talking about teams that have rookie quarterbacks. You don't want to have rookie quarterbacks tank. The Raiders are the perfect team to tank because they're shit. When you have a person like Jackson Dart, I mean, even Shadur Sanders, who could potentially be your future.
15 concussions this season, fucking.
But you want them to play. You want them to win. You want them to feel positive about a season.
You
don't want them
play
to be
to
like,
win the
let's
game.
tank.
And
the Raiders flat out tanks, but they don't have anything that they needed to tank.
Like, do it well. Do it well. Like put them on IR like the Raiders did. If you're doing it, right? If you have a like 25% chance on number 1 pick, god damn it, you take it. The Jets, same thing. Like, they have the number 2 pick. People will come and give them a bunch of picks.
You cannot say that because then Lovie Smith would have tanked and we wouldn't have gotten the 1. So you cannot say if you're going to tank properly.
The proper argument, I think, is both the Giants and the Browns, their coaches are no longer there. So they didn't care.
I didn't think they were going to fire the Browns coach, to be very honest with you.
Daboll was gone previously.
I know, but like the interim guy was not getting stick around. So same thing. It was like, fuck it. Like like Lovie Smith did to the Texans. But anyway, like the fact is we're not in the cycle. We don't have to worry about who the draft pick is. Just made me happy. Over to you, Miller.
Go be a Bills fan, you bitch. I just love week 18 because the tricks come out of the bag. You saw fake punts. You saw passes to tackle to defensive guys. Defensive guys make appearance. Second fake punts. No hold barred in this last week. Everybody's pulling shit out of their ass, trying to create havoc when you're a shitty team, and it was fun to see.
Just 2 points that I want to bring up. The NFC North, every team finished over 500, which is an incredible feat for the Bears to win the division in that manner. And also, Miller, I think I'm ready to wager something with you for next season. Next season,
that Mitch will have more starts than Caleb?
No. We're not going to go that far. Next season, 70-plus yard kick will be made.
76?
70 plus. 70. We saw 67 again from the Jacksonville kicker, and it looked great from 73 or something, whatever it was. I know you said that was not going to be possible. I want to say next season.
No, I did not.
You said it was not going to be possible.
80. You were saying 75, 80. You didn't
I
say
might have been
70.
on the juice, but by the way that these guys are kicking, I don't know what they're eating, but I'm just bringing that up. So just those 2 tidbits. I think next week we can talk about coaching vacancies. We had a great discussion in the group chat about that. It's a little bit ongoing. I think we can kind of save that for next week. Yeah. Okay. Boys, let's get into it. We're going to talk about the Bears versus the Lions game. Some people, I will say, quit at halftime. Someone that you don't expect, Miller. But other than that,
for the record,
I'm not done, damn it. Okay.
I went from 1 screen to 4 screens.
Anyway, the final score of that game was Lions 19, Bears 16, hitting a 42-yard field goal as time expires. Caleb Williams went 20 for 33 for 212, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Who didn't throw an interception? I'm kidding. Jared Goff looked amazing. I don't know how else to put it. 27 to 42. Granted, they play our defense, so everyone looks amazing apparently when they play our defense. Swift went for 10 carries for 40 yards, but we're not here for all these numbers. Everyone knows what we're here for. Miller's glazing minute. Let's see where he is sitting at this moment.
Welp, Miller's guarantee fell flat on its face as Caleb failed to reach 4,000-yard threshold. Let's hear it, haters. With that being said, I'm happy to report that Caleb is now the best quarterback in Chicago Bears history, passing Eric Kramer for the most passing yards in a season at 3,942. This yardage put him at 7th in the NFL this year for passing yards, and he was 6th in the NFL with passing TDs at 27. Does that quiet the haters? No? How about dropping his all-important sack percentage by 70%? He went from 68% to 24. Not good enough? After 2 seasons, the Bears quarterback had an interception rate of 1.2%, which is the lowest in NFL history for the quarterback with at least 1,000 snaps. If you're questioning our quarterback, I would suggest watching Top Gun and finding out who wins that Top Gun trophy, as you may not be the same guy who wins the Lombardi.
You just gave a Top Gun reference?
Yeah. Okay.
Now, before we get into the game, and since Miller brought it up, I do have to ask this question. Does the extra game matter?
No. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it's shittier, but it doesn't.
Okay.
It dilutes a little bit, but, you know.
Hey, listen.
Does
don't
Myles
kill
Garrett,
the messenger. I'm just saying.
Does Myles Garrett's sack record matter?
That was also fun to see. Yeah, you know what, Miller? I was believing your hype. I thought he would hit. I figured if we're just gonna talk about Caleb for 1 second, I just want to ask you guys this one question because I think at the end of the game he played great. There was still some questionable things, but I think that's just part of the game now. I'm not gonna question it anymore. But I do want to say this was the one game where I felt that he would have wanted to prove a point and try to hit 300. But I also think the Lions kind of just outplayed the Bears in the first half and nothing was happening. But all in all, a great quarterback season. We can't really say that much. Leading us to a division win, a number 2 seed, which thank you, Washington, for that. So, Boopin, let's kind of get into the actual game here. Bears lost, so you can't give them your balls as much as you want to. But what's your up and down from this game?
Yeah, but I had a hard time coming up with a list of like people, who I was positive about. Like, if you look at the running back core, like you brought up, Swift led them with 40 yards, right? Like, so not much there. Our wide receiver, one guy we'll talk about, like Colson Loveland, he had 13 targets, right? 10 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown. Like, amazing. Behind him, the most catches was 3 catches. But like, again, not much to talk about there. I know this would probably not be a popular decision, but have to give a shout out to Kevin Byard. I think when he caught that interception, guys, the way that came about, I thought it was another one of those magical things. I thought the game was about to turn again on that one, but it didn't happen. But I have to give him a shout out. League leading 7th interception. I think I was happy to see that. but everyone else basically was in the average category too. Some notable people that I thought had a poor game. Jonah Jackson, definitely the worst game of the season so far. He had a tough assignment against Aiden Hutchinson most of the game. That might have done something to do with it. And CJ Johnson, we have given him some shout out in the past. He was getting burned up and down by Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had a game of his freaking life. Those are notable people, just value up, value down. But majority of the players, in my opinion, were in the average to below average, rating for the most part.
All right. Well, since we couldn't call it Boopin's balls, I've been told that you can have them both in a hand, and it's more than a bush. So we'll see what we can figure out with that in the future. Hopefully, we'll be able to put his balls in your hands.
Yes, I would love to give away my balls.
Yeah. Someday soon. Boys, let's get into some questions here. This is an excellent first question. I don't know who wrote it, but this is fantastic. It looks like we are going to talk about the Bears offense in a way that I love it. The Bears offense have routinely taken the snooze in the first three quarters. Is this a concern for you as we head into quote unquote meaningful football? Boopin, what do you think?
Yeah, of course. I remember not that long ago that we were like one of the best teams. We were scoring on first drives and we were doing an awesome job, and then would go quiet a couple quarters and then come alive in the fourth again. Now we don't do that scoring the first drive anymore. So first three quarters we are a dud. It just seems like we seem to get ourselves in a hole with the slow starts, and then that necessitates, is that a word, a magical comeback in the fourth to even have a shot at winning. While I love the drama, the storylines, we talked about how this is not sustainable. And like last two games, guys, it caught up to us, right? We haven't been able to pull it off. So, yeah, definitely a concern moving into playoff football.
Miller, your thoughts on if this necessitates?
Necessitates? Yes, of course. This is a concern. Like Boopin said, earlier in the year, we were successful on the first drive. We were successful in the first and the fourth quarter. It gave us a little hope. Now it seems like over these last, well, not the Niners game, but outside of that, it's just this fourth quarter that we've been successful in magical comebacks. And it's definitely a concern because you're talking about your offense isn't moving the ball. The defense isn't getting it off the field. So you're talking about just us digging holes for ourselves. There's no momentum on offense. Defense is tired, and it's disaster waiting to happen. So hopefully we can make some changes in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think a lot of the scores that we've seen, if you were to just look at the final score, you would probably say like, oh, that was a close defensive game, or oh my God, that's a high scoring offense. If you look at the last couple games, though, I think it's the 49ers where we kind of look great on offense. And so I feel like this has been a concern, but I think it's also going to lead into the second question that's in this, is that you have that counterbalance of the offense looks bad in the first half or into the third quarter, and then the defense is it was the defense that was mentioned in the call with Brady, the GOAT, saying like, hey, the bend don't break on the defense, like they're helping keep this part in the game. And this was true to that. So I think because you see both sides of the coin where after the half, either our offense starts cooking or our defense gets either better or worse. Like we're not sure on that part. But this is a concern. I think if you look into the Packers games too, it's the same thing. Because when we played the Packers, it looks like we scored 21 points, but we struggled. And then when we scored 22, we struggled as well. So I completely agree with it. I think this is the one time where we all agree, and we're sticking to the positivity on that.
Before we move on, I just want to establish something. So when Brady says bend don't break, it's a thing, but when we say bend don't break, it's not a thing.
Sure. Let me ask you a question. How many Super Bowl rings do you have?
I mean, we could buy a bunch.
But you haven't even bought them.
Technically, I was born in the same year that the Bears won one. Does that count?
No.
Unless
you came out fist out with the ring, no.
What about fantasy Super Bowls?
No. Not even giving you credit for that. Because you probably never drafted Tom Brady.
No, he was slow.
There you go.
I want that.
So, all right. Let's flip the coin then. Our defense has been getting cooked. There's no other way of explaining this a little bit better. Right now, what do you guys think is the biggest problem on defense? You know what? I'll start with that question. I think we make adjustments too late. I think our adjustments, I know we have weaknesses. I know we have injuries. I get it. But I think when we start to see a player like Boobin was saying, where CJ was getting burned and stuff like that, I think as fans, we kind of see it, and maybe as coaches, they're like, no, listen, he's getting burned, but he'll play better the next play or something like that. But I don't know. I think we're kind of past that point because we are in the playoffs, and this is a playoff caliber team. So I think it's when we make those adjustments, we make them too late. And also, we are a high risk, high reward defense in that if we get those turnovers, we look great. We don't care how many points they score until we get the win. But if we don't get that turn, like I think the turnover that we got, the interception was in the fourth quarter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a swing. So for 3 quarters and a half, you could even say it was the worst we've ever looked. But they still only gave up, I think at that moment, was 13 to 16 points. So I still think that was a great game defensively, but it doesn't, to see like Miller's face, like it doesn't look like it. It just, from a stat point, like of giving away points and stuff like that, I still think they did their job. But yeah, Miller, your thoughts?
I was going to compliment you on how you went to school and you came talking all smart with all your points, and then you had to go talking about how defense had a good game or some bullshit like that.
Points wise.
They only give 1 touchdown. Like it's the same thing we've seen. They didn't give up 40 points. So there is something to be said there. But anyway.
Yeah, okay, maybe. I want to focus on the defensive backs because our favorite site published pretty fucking false. They had their ratings, and all 3 of our cornerbacks, including CJ, GJ, were the lowest of the game. Our defensive backs are struggling right now. Wright has seemed to come down to earth. He's not getting the turnovers, and he's getting burned. CJ, GJ cannot cover the crossing route across the middle, and Jalen looks like he lost a step for whatever reason. He's getting burned as well. All of them got burned consistently this game, mainly by St. Brown, but also Jameson Williams. They were just carving us up and down the field, just wearing on this team by these 8, 9, 10-minute drives. They didn't really have very many big plays. Most of it was just short plays. They got the first down when it mattered, and the cornerbacks are a real issue, and you just have to hope that maybe we can get Kyler back this week, and maybe it'll solidify something.
Yeah, I'm with Miller. Our above average, probably even like better than that, whatever the next word is. I don't want to say it. Secondary was getting cooked in man coverage, and I think we are already limited in getting pressure to the quarterback. That just exasperates the problem. Then we start playing zone, and then that's when they freaking love playing those little dinks and dunks that just like cuts. Again, I think they only scored 1 touchdown, right? I don't think there are many touchdowns, but when the offense is not moving the ball and the defense is like, like not getting turnovers, it really makes us like hurt much more. That's what it is. Miller hit it on the head. Our secondary needs to figure it out because without the pass rush that we haven't had all year, we are just exposed. There's nothing, no better way to put it.
Let me ask you guys this question because I think I felt it more this game because as much as I didn't want to treat it like a must win, I felt like it should be a must win because it could have been treated as like a playoff game. And I think they did play like a playoff game.
Saying that, I really hope they didn't treat this like a playoff game because if that's the performance on a playoff game, then we're in trouble. But I was secretly hoping that despite all the hoopla around it, that it was just like kind of people didn't take it as seriously. That's how I'm trying to cope with this game.
See, and that's what's going to be my question to you guys, because when I watched the game, I think there was just some plays that the defense gave up so many opens, like so especially in the middle, and that's where I feel like even in the man coverage to have someone so wide open in the middle and just not lay a hit or something like that, and I think there was only a couple plays where they made some yards after the catch where we missed some tackles. Wasn't as blatantly bad as we've seen in the past. But do you guys feel that the Dennis Allen defense has been kind of conquered at this point? Like people know what to expect?
No,
Anyone?
I don't. I mean, he has a history of being successful on defense. I think a lot of it goes to the pass rush. And honestly, I think some of our guys are old. But I think there's a lot to be said what you were recently talking about and the fact that the lack of changing the scheme when it comes to man versus zone. I mean, how many times did we see JMO or St. Brown run a quick slant right across the middle of the screen, wide open, beat his man, Jalen, CJG, we have 4 yards behind him, and it's just easy pitch and catch, and they got 15, 20 yards. Like, you can't just let them keep doing that. That's why I'm secretly hoping that they played like just a basic offense, hopefully basic offense, basic defense, and hope to get a win, and just we're more focused on this week. That's the only way I'm coping with that disaster.
But if you didn't have to cope with that, what would you say? Because I like coping, you're kind of making an excuse. Not to say that you are, but
our head coach did say it was a simplistic game plan. He didn't say why, but it takes some effort and stuff like that to install a game plan. Usually you play you don't play man or zone. You Jalen maybe on man, but you play zone on the other side. It's a complex tactic like that. The way we were getting burned in slant, right? Like you guys correctly pointed out, it seems like it was a very simplistic defense where it was your guy versus their guy, and their guy made the play more often than our guys did. That's what it looked like very plain terms.
I mean, if you're talking about coping, it's probably pretty stupid, but I'm just going to continue to think that way because, this defense hasn't stopped anybody in 3 weeks. So.
All right. Well, Miller, you kind of touched on it. Time of possession being a big thing that the Bears seem to be struggling with. We've been seeing it over the last couple games. Do you guys feel like it's becoming a factor now with our recent struggles? And what do you think that talks about the overall state of the team?
We've talked about it a couple of times, what's our key to win, and we have highlighted that our offense, which is our moneymaker. Sad to say that. Maybe not sad to say that. It's not what typical Bears team, but they are a moneymaker, and a way to kind of combat that is to keep them on the sideline. And maybe they have figured out Dennis Allen defense, which is just take what's given to you. Keep taking it, hoping that someone makes a home run play at some point. Maybe that's been figured out, but it's a. I don't know if it's done. Maybe it's a policy they are doing against us, a very game plan wise. That's what their game plan is. But it's been so bad last couple of games. Like the Green Bay game, I think we were lucky to win, and the last 2 times has not worked that way. So I absolutely think, again, just like the defense, it's a big factor too.
We talked about it last week, and I'm going to be honest. I'm really surprised we haven't heard more from Chris over here, because over the past, at least last week, I laid out the detailed plan against the Niners and how we needed to beat them. And that was by running the football. In these last few games, we haven't ran the football very well. And yet we haven't heard his bullshit remark. We were successful against the Niners running the ball, but that doesn't really help the time of possession. And while we consistently hear all of the talk about the offense not doing enough, it's true. They're not. They need to be better. That's factual. But as a defense, you cannot survive these 9-10 minute drives consistently. And that's what we saw. Against the Packers, against the Niners, there was, I think, 2 punts combined. This week, there wasn't very many punts, if any. I mean, they're just getting run up and down the field. And yes, the offense needs to do more to give them a break. But at the end of the day, is a break going to matter? If you look at some of these splits, you're talking about the Green Bay game 3 weeks ago. Green Bay had the ball for 39 minutes. The Niners had the ball for 34 minutes. Detroit had the ball this last game for 36 minutes in the game. When we have been successful, in the Niners game, we still didn't hold the ball very long because we didn't have a running game. We were long passes. And it's just we got to get this running game going again, establish the run so we can take over this time of possession to kind of dominate this game.
Yeah, I've been kind of quiet on that because I've seen spurts of great runs, but then I see where we just kind of get tackled and we only get like a yard or two. So I think when you look at the total game stats, which I think remember when I said, and I was semi-trolling, but I was also semi-serious when I was like, so what would you guys say should a team look for when it comes to total yards of rushing in a game, right? And I think the sarcastic answer that I had heard was 100, but I think that's also like a good baseline of just general running, right? I'm not saying don't agree with it, but I'm just saying like if we were to create a baseline. Now, if you were to look at this game, the interception happened in the fourth quarter. That for the Lions, they were at 10 plays. They took up 3 minutes and 14 seconds. So when the interception happens, you guys want to guess how long was the possession for the Bears?
Probably like 30 seconds.
Yeah, 3 and out.
30 seconds because it was a 3 and out. And then they come back to win the game. So that can mean a lot of things. It can mean maybe we are struggling, which we are. We're struggling on defense. So they are able to commit more fourth down conversions. Or third down conversions, I'm sorry. Lions were 6 of 13, Bears were 4 of 11. So those conversions are going to end up hurting us. But I think when you have bad defense, and then when our offense is struggling in the first half, you already lose time of possession. Like there's no other way that you can try to math it back to get a better. If you can get closer or less than 10 minutes or be under a 10-minute kind of, what'd you say, plus minus, I guess you could say, maybe. But I think in this sense, it's like Bears were losing 16-0 entering the third quarter. Time of possession was way past my mind. It was, we need to score points. And we started scoring points, but it didn't help our time of possession. So yes, it is a concern. I think it's a concern early on. Miller's absolutely right. I think if we lose the run game and we don't get those completions and we don't get those third down conversions, it's just going to turn into a bloodbath. So let's get into the final question. Boys, we're entering the playoffs. This game was not as important, but thanks to Washington beating Philadelphia, we successfully got the second seed. We are division champs. We did lose 2 very close games. Does this change the ceiling for this team as we move into the offseason? I'm going to start us off by saying I am completely content with what the Bears were able to do in such a quick turnaround. It's not, I want to say we're at the Washington level, but I'm not at the Washington expectation of going to the NFC Championship game. So division champion, I think, was great. We would have been happy. We all agree with a winning record. So check. Playoff, check. And division champ all in 1 year. So I'm content. Does it change the ceiling? A little bit because we are struggling. So you will see as we talk about the next matchup where I'm at. But Boopin, your thoughts?
I will admit I was in La La Land after they beat Eagles and, come back home and beat the Browns and the Packers right after that, right? I had some unrealistic expectations probably at this point, especially after the last 2 losses. I'm still hopeful that we make some noise in the playoff, but probably more realistic that there's some major holes on this team like we discussed. So I think this is not the year we go all the way. So I'm probably close to that. And like you said, I think this year is we have to see it as a win. A lot of positives to take away from this year so far.
I think it definitely opened my eyes and set more realistic expectations. But at the end of the day, when you have 2 home games, because the Eagles decided to throw the game and play all backups rather than winning that game, 2 home games does matter. And when you have to have a West Coast team, which it'll probably be, come to our house, it's a long way to go, man. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The thing that scared me over these past 3 weeks is the defense, to be honest. The offense has been inconsistent all fucking year.
But before, just to cut you off, let me ask you a question. Before the 3 weeks, though, where were you as far as ceiling was concerned? Just to get a comparison. Hey,
well, my positivity score was like a 9.5, I think, or a 9. I don't think I got to a 0.5.
But in 3 weeks, would you say Super Bowl? I'm just throwing it out there. In 3 weeks ago, would you have said this is a Super Bowl team?
No.
Okay, that's
3
what I'm
weeks
asking.
ago, I
So,
don't
like,
even
where
think we were
were
in
you
the
at?
playoffs.
Right. Okay.
So I was just hoping to get to the playoffs at that point because of the weaknesses that we saw on the team. So if that's
if they made the
benchmark,
playoffs, right? So if they made the playoffs in that mark, what is your ceiling now? Or
I
are we
guess if
already
you're
there?
going to use that logic, my ceiling's probably higher since we're a second seed in the playoffs.
Okay. Then you and I was trying to get you to that same point because I think what Boopin is saying is when he's saying like he's coming from La La Land, like he's already experienced the highs. Like I think we've already gotten to the mountaintop and then these losses are kind of sliding us down. So like, do we need to reach back to that mountaintop or are we just going to settle our camp right where we're at? And that's where I think we can kind of talk about that in the next game. I don't want to give away too much. So
I mean, can we say house money? We're playing with house money. Can we say that?
I would agree with that statement. No,
Okay.
so then what are we playing with, Miller?
We're the number 2 seed of the NFC. You could say we're playing with house money if you're looking at the season overall, but at this point, being a number 2 seed, if we lose this week, it's not going to go well.
That's
all right. So let's not touch too much on that. We'll talk about that in the following segment. Boys, let's end the season with the positivity score recap. Our scores were very high throughout the season. We've had a couple drops. Boopin was drinking some moonshine or something because who was the highest to hit? Someone said 10, right? Did someone say 10?
No, he had 9.5.
9.5. That's the highest that someone's ranked? Okay. Ever. So just to bring everyone up to speed, Miller was at an 8.5.
That's not true. I think I was like at a 20 at one point because of Fields.
Oh, well, we'll go there.
Wait, because of Flus's daughters?
Okay, calm down now. Miller, myself, and Boopin were all at an 8.5. This is this positivity score to end the season with. I will go first. This last game, yeah, we lost. But we're Kings of the North, baby. I'm ending it at an 8.5. I am very content with this season. This loss really didn't do anything that I think would have made too much of a difference. Probably one of my favorite seasons because we got to talk through the whole season and we all got to share some of the highs together. So because of that, Chicago Bears 2025-2026 for me ends in an 8.5.
I've consistently sat here and spoken about the defense and how they're just letting everybody going up on the up and down the field. I really want to lower them for that, but you know what? You can't go lower than an 8.5 if you're talking about the second seed in the NFC. So with that being said, we're going to stand pat as well.
Are we going to go 3 for 3, Boopin?
No, you guys are making it hard on me.
Yeah, we are.
I this loss meant something. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like the momentum going to the playoffs, whatever it was. But you guys are right. This season has been a win overall, and you've seen that reflected in my score. So I think it's only fair that I stick to how they are making me feel at the moment. I would say an 8. Solid 8.
Wow. Drops the half point. But you know what? Very happy. This is the highest we've ever finished the season since we've kept track of the positivity score. And boys, we are going to introduce for the first time ever a positivity score in the playoffs. We are not going to have these numbers to carry us into it. It's just going to be a completely different mindset. So let's talk about it. It is going to be Packers versus Bears at beautiful Soldier Field on Saturday at 7 p.m. For those that live in Rockford, go fuck yourself because you are not going to be able to watch it unless you have Amazon Prime. But there's ways around it. We're not going to tell you that. Right now, the spread is minus 1.5.
Why the hate for Rockford? I'm sorry, did I miss something?
There was a point in time, Miller can probably remember this, where if people were like, oh, I'm from Rockford, you know, like it just like I know Schaumburg gets quite a hit sometimes, but we're from Rockford. We're so close to Wisconsin and we can get our burgers. You know, like there was people that had that.
I don't think I've ever met them, but
I've met a couple. I've met a couple.
My in-laws are from Rockford, so I guess we're gonna fight.
Have I
Now, if
met
you want to
them?
talk about Belvedere, now those individuals, we don't want to talk about those individuals.
Back to the game because I went into that tangent. Packers are favored -1.5. Over under is currently at 45.5. I always ask the same two questions, and I believe we are going to have all the same answers, but there's going to be some other questions that I have in between. So, Miller, what do the Bears need to do to win this game?
We need to start fast.
Ooh, different answer this time. Okay. What do you mean by that?
Baby? We need to score some points early. Get some confidence going, especially with it being at home. You need to get these crowd into it. Like if you have a situation like we've had the past 2 games against Green Bay, where they get the ball, they drive it, and they score. Our offense comes on the field 3 and out. Like it's not going to be pretty in that stadium. We got to get some points on the board early to make this competitive. We can't rely on fourth quarter comeback.
I'll be honest. I was not expecting that of an answer. But Boopin, what do you got?
I say we have to stop the run. I say that because I think we have to come up and disrupt Jordan Love, who's just like comfortable back there, running the ball a couple times, making a pass here and there, just taking the whatever's available to them. We need to like try and stop the run, full stop. So he has to make plays, hoping that our opportunistic secondary comes into play that way. That's what I'm hoping for. Like somehow, like put a big full stop on their run and put it all on Love to win the game for them.
It'll be interesting to see if he has any rust since he hasn't played in quite a few games. Even more important to start fast.
I was going to say, I think more of that. I think that would be more of a. I wouldn't even say
in like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, but even last week they rested their players too, so you could say that the last week was also just a way to rest. So I
mean, if there these rests, like usually, like there have been some teams I'm sure that rested the starters and have won it all. Usually, like the teams that rest don't do very well in the playoffs.
You see that a lot with number 1 seeds too.
I was going to say,
come out flat.
I think when you see it on that end, I think, yeah, I was going to go on that route, but you beat me to it. But yeah, I'm not going to try to sound dirty when I say this, but when you get hot, you get sweaty. You got to ride the hot hand, and you got to ride it hard and fast. And that's how you make Love. We need to get our tight end involved. Loveland needs to get on there. He was 10 catches, 91 receptions. That seems to be the main guy. If you want to start fast, like Miller says, you get Loveland involved early. I don't care if it's 2-yard dumps, 3-yard dumps, whatever it is. Get him going. Get the play action going. But if you make him the star, I think we have a great chance of winning. So Loveland, I think, will be a key factor in this game. And I think I said it a couple times now. I'm on the Loveland train. I don't know what changed. I still love me some Komet. Don't get me wrong. I still love me some Komet. I've had some good times with him. But there's just seems to have this connection with Caleb and Loveland. I don't know. It just seems to work.
Hey, you love where you love. You love a good tight end.
Impressive, man.
Now we got to look at our opponents.
Wait. One more thing. I am so disappointed in you. You didn't go for Mr. Loveland with that voice you were just doing with like get hot and whatever. You could have extended his name. Love is in there. Anyway.
Hoopin, some people have trouble extending it. We can't do that to them. Okay?
Yeah, there is help available medically.
There's help available. And that, you know what? I did mention it to my teacher. That's my dream sponsor. If they ever decide to work with us, you know what? I'll manifest it. Blue Chew, we're interested. We're interested.
Hashtag Blue Chew.
Hashtag Blue Chew.
Hashtag
we're not sponsored.
Not a sponsor.
But not a sponsor yet. But that's when you know you've made it. You know what? If we're going to take this podcast to the next level, God damn it.
Free samples, baby. Send us some free samples.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but we have to look at the Packers. The Packers, it's our historic rivalry. The fact that they gave us a Saturday game, it does disappoint me. I was hoping for a Monday nighter secretly.
Monday nighter.
Monday night.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
Like there was no way they were gonna remove Steelers.
I know
off
they
of
weren't,
Monday.
but that's what I'm saying. Like it would have been great. Just a rivalry game like that. Soldier Field would have been
I want
hot.
it Sunday night.
Yeah, I wanted Sunday night too. I thought that would be ideal.
Well, You got Saturday night. What do the Packers need to do to win this game? I think I'm going to start us off, and I think they need to create turnovers early. If they can get 3 and outs, great. But if they can get Caleb or they get a couple fumbles here and there, I don't know what the weather is going to look like yet. But if they get that early on and they get those points off turnovers, it's going to be very hard to catch up to them. So I think turnovers for them will be a key point in this game. Miller's already making faces that his kids love. What do you have?
No, we're just like the least turnover team in the NFL. If we turn the ball
Right.
over,
Did
so
you,
we are.
did you even hear? No. Did you even hear the Miller's blazing minute or whatever it was? Blazing minute.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If they need to win, they need to do something that the Bears are like. The Bears have not turnover prone, so get them to create turnovers. It's a perfect.
Okay.
I guess.
Perfect blue chew.
What the fuck was that?
Okay.
What do the Packers need to do?
We talked about it already. Stop our run game. It's our entire defense, like offense, like it's our strength. Like like have Caleb throw the game and score early, score enough. That's it.
Miller, you want to copy his answer and we can just move on to predictions?
I am surprised all three of us did say that.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that the Bears are going to dictate this outcome. I don't think the Packers are going to dictate this outcome.
This is where I think we're going to have a difference of opinion.
I just think if our offense comes out and lays a fucking turd, we're going to lose. If our offense comes out and plays well, we're going to win.
Because but Miller, we can't say that anymore because we just have stats that prove that we are a second half team. So like, how can you say?
What does that have anything to do with what I just said?
But what you're trying to install is as far as like scoring points early, right? The Bears are these last couple of weeks have not been able to do that, right? So if they score points early, they have a good chance of winning. On the back end, though, we are hot. So like, I'm more of the like this is what's currently happening. If for the Packers to win and to do turnovers early, they need to continue with that trend of, hey, this offense is struggling. Let's get our points out there early. Let's make this a high-scoring affair on our end, blah, blah, blah. But I think what you're trying to say is more like that needs to change or something. That's how I got the vibe.
You have no idea what you just said.
Oh,
what I'm saying is I don't think the Packers are a good team. So I think we are going to dictate what happens. If our offense plays well, we have a chance to win. If our offense is played like they have the last 3 weeks, we're going to get in for a dogfight and have a chance to lose. That's all I'm saying.
Boopin, your thoughts?
No, I think what he was saying was like, if our offense comes out and like gives us a fighting chance, like the defense has not been a factor last couple of games. He's saying it'll be more of the same. Our offense shows up, we win. If they don't, we lose. I think what he was trying.
Like they're ravaged with injuries. They lost to fucking Max Brosmer. They gave up double digits to Brosmer in Minnesota. Like their defense isn't special right now. Their offense has its moments, but
they probably rested their starters on defense too, though, right?
They did not for 2 weeks.
No, like
they rested this last game.
Well, I wasn't talking about this last game.
I mean, all right.
Or was I thinking of Detroit? I was thinking of Detroit. They lost.
That made us look bad because Detroit gave up 23 points to Brosmer, I think.
Yeah, that was Detroit.
And there you have it. Miller's wrong again. Those were our questions. We always go through it. So now I did want to ask a little bit about the last 2 games before we get into our predictions. Game 1, we lost. Game 2 was a close game, and we came out with a win on that game. What do you guys think is going to be the biggest difference maker in that aspect? So to give you guys an example, for me, it's Swift. I think if Swift gets elusive and can break a couple runs and extend those drives, we have a good shot. Is there anyone that you guys want to shout out or just kind of, because I think in the prediction you'll hear what I have to say about from the Packers side of things, but what do you think, Boopin?
Rome's coming back.
Damn it.
Rome, baby. He has been like, when we were scoring quick and like just on this, he was on the same page with Caleb. That led to a lot of good plays on offense. I'm hoping him coming back is the secret key we've been missing. Sorry, Miller.
I agree. I think Rome is that guy that you can run a go route and you can have faith throwing it up to him that he has a shot to come down with that ball. So I think him coming back may allow us to take the top off the defense a little bit more and allow us to pull out a W. So I would say Rome as well.
Okay. All right. Let's get into our predictions. As I had mentioned before, Miller wins the prediction series that we had. He went 13-5. I was at
trophies
second.
in the mail, Miller. It's a big trophy.
Fine. I'll just buy my own with all my victories this year.
I didn't send
it's a
them
big
anything. Trophy.
Fuck.
It's a big second
trophy
with 12-6. Boopin was third with 11-7. Well, now we're just not even going to keep track. We're just going to have fun. So because
there's a playoff champion, right?
It is a playoff matchup, so I'm going to go first. It would be very hypocritical of me how I mentioned the Bears winning the last Packers game and saying that things would be different if the Packers did not have their injuries. I think if Jordan Love plays the whole game, we will see a different offense on the second half than we did on the last game. So, boys, the ride was fun. I will take my rally towel and call this season an end. I believe the Packers will win this game. It's going to be fairly interesting. I think it's going to be 23-17 Packers. That is going to be my prediction.
What's the process to kick out one of the trio, Miller?
There isn't none because I edit everything. So good luck with that.
It's a good thing that you're number 2 on that list, number 1, because this, my friend, is going to be a Bears W. Bears are going to come out. They're going to come out on fire. You've heard them talk about it all week. Well, few days here coming off of that game against Detroit. They're fired up. They're ready to go. They got the bulletin board material rocking at Soldier. They're going to come out. They're not going to lay the smack down. They're going to beat them. 24-20 Bears.
Shoot, that's close. Okay, so I struggle with it, Chris. I'll be honest with you. It's hard to see a path, but I'm excited. Rome's coming back. Miller's right. We have some motivation, right? Coming into kind of backing into the playoff instead of like going in with momentum. We have motivation if we need it. God damn it! Give me the Homer hat. Bears win 24-21.
Now, not to be that guy, but does Rome not even warm up for this game? just give them orange slices and get in there in the first quarter.
Rome and Kyler?
Yeah, like what do we do here, boys?
Get them hurt. If they get hurt, fuck them. And if they get hurt and we lose, they have all the off season to get well.
Wait, Kyler is just activated, right? Off the 21. Is he playing?
The theory is he'll probably play.
Okay.
They have to announce it Thursday, though, don't they?
No.
Friday?
Maybe. You might be right.
Because it's a Saturday game?
No.
Yeah, Miller.
So the last practice would be Thursday.
But he's activated already.
No. Usually they put him in a questionable tag.
Activated.
And then, by Friday we'll know, Chris.
By Friday we should know, but Thursday is when they list them.
I think the Thursday thing is talking about being activated from IR. Since he's activated, he's technically on the roster, and he'll just say he's either in the game or out of the game, like any other player.
So a game time decision
at that point.
point.
Game time decision, but he was limited at practice today.
Yeah, it's not like concussion where they have to have a full practice to like go. I think just the teams and their decision to be like, okay, he's ready to go. Usually they put him in a questionable tag for the most part until they have to make a call, though.
I trust you guys. Rumor on the street is he's looking at about 80% health.
How'd you get that number?
Just rumor on the street, bro.
Jesus.
No, it's not even Twitter. Not this one.
Wow. Okay. All right.
It's been wrong lately, so you know.
Boys, I know you guys are looking forward to the superb owl. But I got to tell you guys, I'm really excited for the Bad Bunny halftime show. I've been listening to Bad Bunny all these last couple of weeks. He's doing his world tour. There's some great clips out there if you want to get a a glimpse of just the people dancing and singing. It's awesome. I cannot wait. If we're together for that, I want to record your guys' reactions. So the way that I want to do this is I just want you guys to give me your best matchup, and then your NFC winner, AFC winner, and your Superb Owl
What does
winner.
best matchup mean?
Like the one that you're excited to watch.
Let's go matchup by matchup, and then we'll.
I don't want to go matchup by matchup. It's gonna take forever.
Okay, all right.
I'll be very honest with you.
Wild card on the AFC side, I think the Jacksonville Buffalo game is probably the funnest game. Like it's like I don't know, kind of a toss up. It's in Jacksonville. Jacksonville's like, believe it or not, pretty hot right now. Buffalo, they didn't win the division this year, so like maybe there's some opportunity there. I think that'll be a fun game. I have Jacksonville winning that one.
Ooh, so even without all the quarterbacks in the AFC, Allen doesn't get it done. Interesting. All right, and Boopin, who is your AFC winner?
I have Houston coming out of AFC.
Wow, okay. And your NFC?
Seattle.
Wow, okay. And then your Owl winner?
Seattle.
Ooh, interesting. Mr. Miller's already chomping at the bit here. Miller, what do you got?
I don't know how you want me to play this, so I'm just going to run through it myself. The most intriguing matchup for this week to me is Chicago Green Bay, to be honest.
Okay.
Moving forward, I think the matchups that we're going to see for the championship series, I think it's going to be Seattle against the Rams. I do think the Rams are going to pull that one out to be the NFC champs. On the AFC side, I completely disagree with Boopin. I think Buffalo is going to be there. And then my Superb Hour or Super Bowl champ is going to be the Rams.
Wow, interesting.
I think McVay owns Seattle, so if they play them, it'd be tough.
They will not make it out of the first round, wildcard round.
Ooh, I would put some money on that.
That would
didn't they lose to
Panthers?
Didn't they lose to Carolina like 4 weeks ago?
Miller's gonna say it doesn't matter, like he's always done.
Book it.
No, whatever.
Book it.
I think the most intriguing matchup for me is actually Pitt Houston, just because Pittsburgh is hosting that game. That Sunday Night Football game was amazing. It was so good. Yeah, Miller.
Did you know, fun fact,
that Boopin's guarantee hit?
No. Mike Tomlin, at home, has played on Monday Night Football 12 Monday Night Football games. Do you know his record?
I believe he's only won 2 games.
12-0.
12-0.
12-0 on Monday Night Football at home. Never lost.
Wow, I didn't know that. I don't know why I said 2 and that he's only won 2. I don't know. I feel like
guys trying to do this back-to-back weeks. My half of my guarantee came through. Pittsburgh came through. Always bet on the underdog. There's a lot of money coming on Pittsburgh to cover this week too.
Yeah, but that's beside the point. We don't care about that. I think that's my most intriguing matchup. AFC winner, I have Buffalo coming out. I think if there was not a year that it was paved out for this team, it is this one. You don't have to worry about Baltimore. You don't have to worry about the Chiefs. Don't get me wrong, Jacksonville's a great team. You should be able to take care of them, but
no, again, makes sense. I think Josh Allen is 0-4 in the playoffs, and all losses are to the Chiefs. So you're absolutely right.
I have 0-4. I have Buffalo, New England.
On the road?
I have Buffalo, New England.
AFC.
Yeah, and then on the NFC, man.
Wait, Buffalo, New England would be divisional round. They're in the same.
No, not on the bracket I'm looking at.
Bracket's wrong. What are you saying? In the championship series?
In the championship, AFC championship.
The championship round is what he was
saying. Yes, AFC championship round.
They could still adjust. The numbers on my thing could be different.
Oh, okay.
So it all depends on who wins.
I'll just go with Buffalo. I'm not going to make it more. I'll just go with Buffalo. I think New England's
the highest
also going to
seed will always play the lowest.
Got you.
So
okay.
Theoretically, they would play
the NFC. Man, I don't know why, but I just feel like Philadelphia has a good chance. I know, Miller. Trust me, I know. But Philadelphia just seems to come in clutch. They seem to have a down year, and they always just seem to turn it around. So I think for the NFC, I will be going Philadelphia, and Buffalo gets the superb owl on my end. That I think is going to be. Awesome. It's going to be.
I could see the Eagles being a wild card, but to me, I don't think they're going to have a chance. I think they're going to get boat race this.
But the thing is that it's the seeding that matters. So them being the third seed, they would have to guarantee themselves, either Green Bay would go to Seattle. It would be LA Rams or Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be one of those two. And then they can get lucky in the
if the
NFC
Bears
side.
Lose.
Well, I'm going with what I said I'm going, but that thing.
Again, I had a tough time here too, like not being a homer and up against Chicago. Like that was tough for me too. I'm not gonna lie.
All right. Those are our predictions. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Boys, I am not going to end the episode yet. I have a surprise question for you. Coach of the year, who you got? There's a lot of talk. I've seen a lot of articles, more than I thought I would see, about who should actually win and who is deserving of it. So, like, meaning who deserves it more, but then who should just come out right and win it. Some are saying Ben Johnson deserves it, but he shouldn't win it. There's a lot of back and forth there. So I will give you my opinion. I think it's I always mess up his last name, Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. I think what he did with that New England team to get them to where they're at was impressive. I think Ben Johnson is either 2 or 3 back there. You can make an argument with the Jacksonville coach too. Duval, that weird press conference he gave at the beginning, for him to come up as a 3rd seed too. So I think you can flip-flop him and Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, I think, can get the 2 because of the division title, but that's nearer there. Boopin, what do you think?
I think you're missing the front runner, Mike McDonald from Seattle, number 1 seed. I think he runs away with it.
Really?
Explain.
Number 1 seed, like Sam Darnold, question mark. What
do you mean question mark? He threw for 4,000 yards last year.
But like the team that he threw with didn't want him, so I had to go and move to a new team. No one picked him, and like no one was expecting this from him. Come on, you're sitting here saying, "Oh yeah, this was expected." Hold
on. I need to. We talked about this when McCarthy was drafted. We talked about this, and then we said if Minnesota was doing the right thing by having him start. I can't recall who said it, but they were like, if you drafted that rookie that high, you have to tell Darnold to go. So that's different.
I didn't say
it. Someone said it. I can't recall who.
Because you need to keep Darnold, especially after his ACL injury. It was no questions asked. You needed to keep him. I didn't think he was going to do this. I'm just intrigued. I've heard a lot of the McDonald noise, and I don't understand it.
The number 1 seed, I think, like clutches is for me. He was in the running, but like the fact that he's not winning, he's like basically giving them a really good shot to like go as far as they.
But if that's the case, why not Peyton? Why isn't Peyton getting the same love on the AFC side?
That's a great question.
Because they were decent last year. But
yeah,
I don't remember what the Seahawks were. I don't think the Seahawks were bottom of the barrel.
Did they make the playoff last year?
I can look into that, but can you answer that part? Like, can you say why isn't Peyton getting that same kind of recommendation?
It's like expectation versus like, because everyone had the Rams winning that division. 49ers had that simple, like easy schedule, so they were like up there too. So like everyone was thinking Seattle's 3rd best team in this division. At least that was the expectation beginning of season. I'm not.
They were 10-7 last year.
10-7. Yep, they just pulled it up.
Did they make the playoff?
You're not the first person to bring up that name, and I'm just questioning it. I am with Chris. I think it's Mike Vrabel, and I think it's not even by a close margin. When you have a team like the New England or the Bears, I think Ben Johnson was in the running. When you go from worst to first, and you're talking about winning 4 games, the talent's just not there. And for him to flip that whole team around and become they were fighting for the number 1 overall seed with a 2-year starter. Like, I think you're hard pressed not to give it to him. I think there are a lot of teams that, or a lot of guys that have a say in it. Like even you can say Kyle Shanahan with all his injuries, but
and when's the last time
Duval
you heard
too? Duval, right? Cohen there. Like he took a team. They were in last too, right? Weren't they?
they were a laughing stock? Like
I don't think they were in last.
No, but they were a laughing stock in the sense that the Jaguars hired him late. It wasn't the best signing, and people were criticizing, like, can this guy even get a crew together? And now we have him going 13-4. So I mean, there's a lot of competition in this. But the one thing I will say, Drake May, second year, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time a second year was a top contender for MVP?
Burrow? Was that his second year? He made the Super Bowl?
That's a good guess.
I would say so, yeah. I think that sounds about right. But, like, when you can have that, I think you also should get that extra point. That's why I have him winning. It's because of where May is at.
The only thing you can argue is their schedule's been weak as fuck.
Yeah. They
I mean,
like
the Bears
literally like
technically had a week first, too, didn't they?
No, we didn't.
we had one
we
of
had
the
a week
most-
something.
We had the toughest, we were top 5 in toughest schedule.
Overall, but I
think-
think we had the weakest second half, didn't we?
No,
No, second half
we
was
had the
way
strongest
worse.
second half.
Yeah.
I got to look
I
up
don't-
what I thought I read.
And
I don't
next year
know
is going to
what
be
the
eager
end
to
of
harder.
year- I don't
Next
know
year
what
is
the end
harder.
of year schedule came out to with the records, but like going into the year, it was like top 5 in strength of schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'll concede my point, but I thought I saw something where it might have been a different team, but that someone had actually it might have been Baltimore. Didn't Baltimore say that they were going to have the easiest second half, and that's why they were thinking they were going to make it or
could
something
be.
like that?
Yeah.
That might be it. Yeah. So I think I was going to talk about MVP, but I don't want to stretch this. I think we're just going to end it there. Boys, congratulations. We are going into playoff mode. We actually get to record an episode next week with meaning. Find out where we're at. So because of that, Boopin, why don't you sign us off?
I'm hoping Chris is wrong, so we get to come back and do this again next
Have
week.
faith. He's not even the number 1 picker in this group. Only
Hey,
lost
calm
4
down.
times all year, baby. Not going to be 5 this year.
I did this. What I get for being a homer the last couple games is this.
That's
I didn't
okay.
get the Eagles pick right though.
That's okay. That's okay. As soon as the music plays, I'll set the outro over here.
As long as the baby makes it to the bathwater, right?
Thank you for listening, people. Please hit that like and subscribe. Let us know how we did. Keep those comments coming. Bears have positivity into our life. Let's keep it going in the playoffs. Bear down.